Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the charts to take a look at what has been going on most recently with BTC. As we get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe. Tap the bell, select all notifications, and you are going to be kept up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all of that said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what is going on here with BTC. Okay guys, we're going to start things off by really taking a good look at what is going on with our hourly chart here. So obviously we had this 5 impulsive move up. Again, this actually is still inside of our B wave or our A wave down, with this low threshold still kind of valid. So let's actually break this down a little bit, talk about what's going on here. So as we kind of just expand this up to make it a little bit clearer for you guys, we obviously have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this 5th wave up here is still, it's still potentially in play, but I do think it's actually kind of played out from the high point just up here at $44,513 approximately, if I get the actual wick there, 44,500 exactly. And then obviously we started to pull back down. This here, I believe, is actually the 4th wave, and then we went up into this 5th wave here. Now the issue that I have with this 5th wave is it's incredibly short, and it doesn't really play into kind of what you would expect from a 5th wave. It actually went up to the 1.382, and it didn't go to the minimum threshold of what I would believe to be 1.618. So it should have been up here about $44,000 or $45,000, but actually we fell short of it. And with that wick actually just reaching $44,750 approximately. So I'm going to mark that as complete because we do have a definitive countdown, and we'll see how that plays out next over the next kind of 24 hours. But most likely, I think that is that one actually played out, and not a very good kind of indication of what's going on there. But again, you do have 5 waves inside here, so we'd expect for an ABC move, and we do kind of have this with an ABC here. And again, it could be an expanding correction, but I don't think that's really what's going on here on the hourly chart. So let's actually now run this up a little bit. Obviously very choppy since we had this high point. And what we actually have is, effectively this A wave down, a B wave up, and a C wave down here. Okay, and again, we can measure this, and we kind of get the idea of a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's kind of exactly what you have here. A little bit short, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio pretty much on the A wave and the C wave. So that we can mark off as complete, and we kind of know that's an ABC. And then we can start to track this to the upside and see what's going on here. Now we're in the very early stages of this move, so I think this is a definitive A wave. We obviously are moving that stochastic RSI a little bit just down here. Okay, so we've still got plenty of room to grow, but we do have to obviously start to see this thing pull back a little bit and then move up again. Okay, so I reckon that we are currently looking at, if I actually grab hold of that properly, this is being an A wave. We'll look for that B wave and we'll look for that C wave later. And of course, it's too early to really be sure on that, but if we were to look at it slightly differently and say A, B, and C, that's also another ability, another possibility. And if that is the case, this might actually then turn into impulsive move. So again, once we actually get the next few hours out of the way, we'll be able to say for sure, what is the most probable outcome here, as this particular move would be constituting, wave 4 and 5 still to come. Now, the importance of this is 5 waves, 3 down, 5 waves, 3 down, and so forth, is it's a continuation of what we've already seen over this side, right? So 5 waves up, and inside here you have 5, 3, 5, 3, and not really 5 waves to the upside, which is a little bit of a letdown. The ABC is what would follow that impulsive move of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'd ideally like to see another 5 waves, right? That then basically allows us to see wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 on a larger timescale. So all of that's looking pretty good, but we do need to see that one kind of play out a little bit more before we can be certain of the kind of waves that are going on here. Are they impulsive or are they just corrective? And what we mean by that is corrective is obviously short term, and impulsive is slightly longer term, right? It sets a trend for an impulsive move. Okay, so the hourly chart's looking pretty good. What about that 4 hourly? And the reason that we had this kind of pullback here, this ABC move, is of course that 4 hourly chart does need to have a correction. That stochastic RSI is actually quite high. So seeing this pullback here is actually a pretty good sign. of what is to come. So as we start to lower this price down a little bit, we are lowering the stochastic RSI down, and that allows us then to continue the push to the upside. Obviously, there's still quite a bit of room here to pull back down on our 4-hourly chart. We take a look at the 8-hourly, very same story. We can, of course, go down a little bit as well. And of course, the daily chart is very much in need of a correction still, which leads us into the bigger play, right? So as I come back into our hourly, it's also worth noting that all of this here could just be our B wave. Okay, and we aren't necessarily going to break above any validation point, which obviously is right up here in this blue line at 45,815. So what we are looking for is to invalidate the potential low point. Now, if I grab hold of this fib, which is a measurement of our A wave down here, and move it over to the recent high that we've had today, this does change our C wave target. It actually moves it up a little bit, so it doesn't go down as low. This would actually be $40,705.01. Okay, therefore we can move our accumulation area just up here as well. So right now we are looking at a still very much valid move to the downside. This is something that we can see on the larger time frames, right? That 4-hourly needing a correction, the 8-hourly needing a correction, and the daily needing a correction. And this is where we are looking to target. Okay, so if we do not invalidate this move, that's the most probable area. So let's watch out to see how fast this stochastic RSI moves up, and whether or not we are just going to end up with these kind of really choppy kind of moves all the way back down into this lower range here after such a move to the upside. Okay, so as we kind of bring this back up into our daily chart, we can actually see here that we are tracking still a pretty nice move to the upside. And this actual move that we'll be taking a look at, if I actually go and throw this onto here, for example, we can see it actually plays out just like so. So if this does actually turn into an impulsive move, then we move up to about $48,000, invalidating our ABC down. And then obviously we have the ABC that would follow that afterwards and taking us down towards that kind of range anyway of about $40,000, I would have thought. But again, these are very, very natural kind of patterns. Now, here, this is actually tracking quite nicely. A wave, B wave, or a 1-2 wave, an impulsive move up, a pullback for wave 4, again not crossing wave 1, and now we are looking to track to the upside for wave 5. Inside here, you would expect to find 5 waves on those smaller time frames, as I spoke about earlier. So obviously that would lead into a much deeper ABC correction, and then we would obviously potentially go up into the next time frame with the weekly, for example, where all of this here would actually be an entire move of a 1 wave. And then we'd have a 2 wave, and then we'd have a 3, then we'd have a 4, and then we'd have a 5, right? It's quite a long journey, but it takes us up into new all-time highs, and you can see how all of these time frames are interconnecting together. Okay, so as I come back down into the Binance data here, and we come back into our hourly, and we really understand that all of this stuff that's going on this hourly chart is all a building up into potentially an impulsive move on the larger time frames. Okay, so we should be very patient with it. We should let it go through its natural phases, its natural corrections, and in doing so, we actually end up in a really good spot for Bitcoin, and of course the rest of the crypto market as well, which will be following the trends that Bitcoin currently sets until eventually we actually get to a point where we have that decoupling. So guys, there isn't too much more I can really talk about with Bitcoin right now. I am expecting a little bit of a push to the upside, but ultimately the slightly larger timeframes are indicating that we are going to have a pullback. That pullback is a natural, healthy pullback that should actually allow us to continue this push to the upside after so many invalidations on the recent impulsive move that we've had with Bitcoin. So if you have found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.